1880. I'm going to be doing a natural form era hairstyle, and I'm going to be using the same twist of false hair that I used in the crown braid tutorial video, but I've just twisted a little more and then twisted it back on itself. I was looking at a fashion plate from, I think it was 1879, and there was like a chignon at the bottom that was twisted and then pulled up, so pretty similar to that. I'm going to start by parting my hair. I'm doing a middle part with this style, and then I'm going to section it. First I'm going to deal with my cowlick. Because there's nothing worse than having a big hole at the back of your hairdo. Alright, now I'm going to section it just casually in two. And this chignon is going to get pinned back there. So I'm going to pin it about there. I don't want it too far down my head or too down my back. In the early 70s, like there's some huge hairstyles. And then natural form, everything kind of got a little more demure, a little smaller, a little closer to the head. That looks pretty good. And then that top part's gonna get covered with more hair. Probably fake. I have an extra handy fake braid hanging out over here that I'll probably need. So I'm just pinning this to my head pretty securely. Just make sure that's good. That looks pretty good. All right, now these side pieces, I think I'm gonna section them. I think I'm good to just do a braid. And get the flyaways. And then I'm gonna do 2 pigtails on the side. And then these will be brought to the back, and I can either arrange them, ooh, I scratched my face there. I can either arrange them by themselves, or if I don't have enough hair to make it look good, I'll put that fake braid in. So let's see here. Oh yeah, I'm definitely gonna need the fake hair. So I'm just gonna pin that braid on this side. Maybe toss another one in. Oh God, I got myself good. That was just my nail a second ago. Ah. Yeah. So the dress I'm going to be wearing today it's a circa 1880, what I would call a dinner dress. So not an evening gown, not a ball gown, but still not something you'd really go outside in by itself. It's got a slightly lower décolleté, but probably more something that was worn for dining, for meals, whether that be lunch, because often when things are called dinner, it's what we would call lunch. So it's still a very elegant gown. It's got lots of silk and lace, but it's not a ball gown. It's not an evening gown, as you would assume. And I made the dress for, let's check this first. I made the dress for a trip to Tombstone, Arizona a few years back. We got to go for White Earp Days, which was really, really cool. When I was a kid, we lived in Colorado for a little bit in the early 90s, and it was right when Tombstone came out, and it was so big. It was so popular. And I wouldn't call it a costuming movie per se, I mean, at least not for women, but it's one of my first memories of really like a period movie. That and Gone with the Wind. I watched that like 1,000 times as a kid. All right. So that's actually looking pretty decent. If I just had the tiniest bit more hair, I could probably get this to work with my own hair. But I think I'm gonna add this extra braid. And this is just a hank of false hair that I have, I'll undo it, but I've just folded it upon itself. Sort of in like a figure 8 pattern. All right, just a braid. And I'm gonna try to hide the ends with the rubber band, and I'm just gonna make like a little figure 8 bun. Yeah, just a little figure 8. I'm gonna hide the end. You know, these things, they look like a lot of hair, but then once you start folding them back on themselves to tuck the ends, you end up using a lot of the hair. So I'm just gonna try to make that look decent. So Tombstone is really cool. It's a long drive we drove because we took our trailer and camped. And when I say camped, we bring everything. Like, we don't rough it at all. I mean, we're like dressed as Victorians. But we took the trailer, went down, stopped a couple of places along the way, like Phoenix. There was a cool restaurant called Durant's there, like an old 50s steakhouse. I'm just gonna spray this. And then we made it down to Tombstone, and it was Wyatt Earp Days, so everybody was there. Like, the town was bustling, and everybody was dressed up. A lot of men dressed up, which is really cool when you go to like cowboy events, because most historical things, it's a lot of women, but you go on the West, tons of guys. There was a parade, so there was a lot of groups there, but I only brought 2 dresses, and I thought that was stretching my limit. I thought maybe I'd have a chance to wear 1. I could have brought 4. I mean, we were there for the whole weekend. Everybody was dressed up the whole time. And the last night we were there, there wasn't even any events going on anymore. I think it was Sunday night. And I put this gown I'm gonna wear, I put it back on and went and ate wings, and like nobody batted an eye. And this is a huge, long train, lots of ruffles. So let's get this in. I can talk forever. So I'm gonna pin it, I'm gonna try to pin it a little low. A lot of the natural form era styles appear to me, at least, like they're a bit lower on the head. Early in the decade, there's lots of like crown braids and lots of height. And that seems to kind of go away a bit. I really want to get into the early 1870s. I haven't had any events to go to that warranted me making a dress, but I'd really like to. tame this a bit. So this dress I made, I had a lot of time to work on it, so I ended up really floofing it up. Every time I thought I was done, I was like, what else? Where did you come from? What else can I add to this? So it was a lot of fun to work on, a lot of fun to wear. I've worn it a couple of times now. First time was in Tombstone. And then also when I went to Tombstone, I made a kind of summery dress, which is what I made the corset I'm currently wearing for. It's a summer corset, it's mesh, which was really cool. It was really nice and cool with my day dress that I brought, which I'll have to shoot some kind of video in because I really like that dress. Having a lot of fun during this quarantine where I get to rewear all my old stuff. I haven't sewn really anything new. All right, that's looking pretty good. Extra pins in there. It's looking very good. And another hallmark of the natural form era, and a lot of the 1880s, is these silly little ridiculous bangs. And this was just a really cheap fake bang, the kind that kind of comes down on the sides and straight across, really wispy. And when we were on that trip, because I like to wait until the very last second to get ready, I pulled it out and I said, shit, how am I gonna curl this? I think the power was having trouble at the RV park or something. So I boiled some water and I put rollers and I dunked it and it stayed. And it has a really, you'd think this would totally show, I don't know if it'll focus in on this. It's got a wig clip and net, and you would think it would show when you wore it, and it doesn't show in any of the pictures. I just kind of scooped it on there. And you've got to arrange it, of course, so it looks most flattering with your head, and kind of separate them. But yeah, these little stupid curly bangs you see them quite a lot in the 1880s. And lastly, pretty comb. There we go. Now I'm gonna go get dressed. Thanks for hanging out while I got ready.